Hello, welcome to This Is For Me. As per usual, I'm your host, Trisha, and this is after a holiday hiatus. And I'm going to say this episode is for cleaning out your closet. Now, I literally did this. I'm sorry, guys. There's too many wires. This is distracting me because I can hear a wire rubbing up against my headphones. It's very annoying. Okay, better. All right, cleaning out your closet. I did this yesterday. I have a couple closets, not to brag. I've been wanting to do this for a while. And I'm just going to trigger warning this episode. We're going to talk about eating disorders. I know, guys. I hope I don't get a big eye roll. We're going to do it. We're also going to talk about periods and hormones and emotions. Also, someone I spoke to mentioned they're like, maybe you're having like a holiday hangover. And not from drinking, guys, because I had a whole one cocktail on New Year's. And Christmas, I shared a hard cider. So no, not that kind of hangover. The hangover from being insanely busy at my job, running around all day, you know, like stimulation overload, talking to a million people a day at the same time, honestly. There were several times during the holidays where I had to say to grown adults, I can only speak to one person at a time. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, now it's calm. It's a little bit slower at my work, which is great. It's going to ramp up soon again. And I knew, okay, I have a weekend alone. I spent 2 beautiful weekends with my favorite person. But I have a weekend alone. I'm going to clean out my closets. I want to get reorganized. I only moved in here in June. So obviously, you do some closet cleaning like when you move. But I just, I have this whole kind of hippy dippy notion that you need to clean stuff out in order to bring in more abundance, right? Also, I mean, you can't keep buying stuff for yourself and then you have like all this junky stuff. Then you find yourself saving your nice stuff. Why? I don't understand because life is now, but I'm still guilty of this. So, anyway, back on track. Well, pause because I need to take a sip of my turmeric latte. It needs to happen. It's so good, as per usual. Okay. So, also, you guys should know I did just get my period, which is a big deal for me because of having an eating disorder most of my adult life. I didn't even get it till I was 17. I went through a whole 7 year period of like my first long relationship. Literally didn't get it. Like, I think I got it in the beginning of our relationship because my hormones were crazy and then like didn't get it for the rest of the whole time. And so it's not regular, but I've never been on birth control. I've never manipulated my hormones in that way. So even though I've manipulated my hormones through, over exercising, under eating, etc., I actually feel like at least I'm in sync with my own cycle more than most women because they've been either on birth control forever or like on again, off again. At least I know my natural cycle right now is between um 1 month and 3 weeks or 2.5 months. Okay. So she was so considerate, she came right before uh Thanksgiving. And then I knew, oh my God, you're not gonna have it for Thanksgiving then, or Christmas or New Year's. So thank you very much. But she came and the cramps were awful. Never felt anything like them in my goddamn life. Like at night, kept me up. It was insane. I do now have more sympathy for my fellow women that talk about cramps because I've had them before, but they weren't that serious. So I'm like, why are you guys grabbing the ibuprofen or the Midol or whatever? Now I get it. I still don't take any like pain pills, but I do get it because I mean, that was pain. I was laying in bed in the fetal position. I can't imagine if I felt those cramps while I was supposed to be working. Like, are you kidding me? Women work with pain like that? Oh my God. Insane. Insane. A man would never. And that's not a hot take. They just wouldn't. Okay. So I'm cleaning out my closet, guys. And if you know me, then you know I love an outfit. Okay. Not just it. There's just some people that get it, some people that don't. I love a look. I love an outfit. If there is a party to go to, if we know we're going to dinner, we know we're going to someplace cool all day, like Mass Mocha or our Omi, like I want a vibe. It might not even be like dressed up necessarily, like formal. It's just like I get excited about like what vibe am I going to feel that day. And I love a photo shoot opportunity, which my old ex, he would take some pictures, especially if we're on a museum. We would do some pictures, but it wasn't like all the time. And like sometimes I would have to ask, but now I find myself in a whole outfit and I do not have to ask when I am with a particular person. So that's really nice. It's really nice. Pause again. Coffee needs to happen. All right. So, that being said, I have a lot of emotional attachments to clothing. I know I'm not alone here. That's why they had the whole series Marie Kondo. I mean, I'm definitely not on hoarder's level, but just, does this bring you joy? Does it not? Well, guys, cleaning out your closet when it's been over a year, maybe it's been like a year and a half or so since I got out of my last really long term relationship of over 7 years. But there's a lot of memories, okay? I even found a dress that I bought from a relationship when I was in my 20s, and I wanted us to dress up as Scarface for Halloween. Like, I wanted him to be Scarface. I wanted to be Michelle Pfeiffer. I was going to get a blonde wig. I got this vintage 70s, like very silky, peachy dress from eBay. Anyway, like, just, yeah, vivid memories when it comes to clothes. And so I'm going through my closet and I'm reliving a lot of moments as I'm seeing certain clothes. And I'm remembering how I felt. I'm remembering where we went, but I'm also remembering how I felt. And when I was really deep in my eating disorder, obviously I wasn't happy. I was not happy, but I would kind of just like, if I had something to look forward to, that's what would like get me through. Whether I wasn't happy in my life or wasn't happy in my relationship, which it wasn't all miserable. Like, I dated a person for a very long time. And for the first several years, I thought he was like Prince Charming, like the coolest, the most, what a gentleman, like, um, just showing me things from like a fantasy life. Okay. So it just, and you're often directionless in your 20s, in your 30s. We're all still working on it, okay? But anyway, I would just, if I had an event to look forward to, whether it was a week away, a month away, whatever, I'm thinking of the outfit. It would like give me a high. It would give me a buzz. And then that also would encourage my eating disorder because I think about like, how great am I going to look? Like, this is why like I can go to bed hungry tonight because like you're going to look even better in that dress. And it's not healthy. It's just, it is what it is. And then when people tell you look great, it's like you say thank you, but all the work that went into it. And then you think, like, if I'm not this thin, this is going to stop. No one's going to tell me this. Okay. And I'm insecure. I'm the most confident, insecure person, guys. Like, for real. I am a Cancer Leo cusp, so part of me wants to stay in my little shell and be protected because I'm a big sensitive mush ball. And then the Leo part of me, hello, I mean, if you're watching this on YouTube, like hair, it's like a signature trait, okay? Very outspoken, unapologetic about my opinions, and when I do have an outfit that's a vibe, like I fully know it, right? I'm in it. I know it. Like, thank you for complimenting me. I already knew. Okay. At the same time, like, oh my God, please do compliment me. I'm desperately like, I'm doing this to be seen. I want your approval. I want you to tell me all the things that I hope this look is accomplishing. Like, it's a whole thing, right? And it's dumb. It is. It doesn't mean it's not there. Anyway, I did try on certain things, and I gotta repeat it again. On my period, little bloated. Most of the bloating was going away, but little bloated still. And this is where I have a lot of guilt and shame about having feelings about my eating disorder, is that I'm still the same size, guys. I mean in clothing. I don't mean like to a T the same size. I mean in clothing. So I mean, my size range, I'm tall. I'm like 5'10". I have rather wide hips. I will always have like a thigh gap. It's just, that's genetic. Some people just can't because they have narrow hips. And so it's a thing. But, I am bigger than I was when I had my eating disorder. Like, I have muscle on my back instead of just ribs. And I have arms that I've grown like at least an inch and a half on each arm, which I am proud of, by the way. A lot of that's from paddling, and then it's just from like eating enough protein. I could go into how little I used to eat, but I'm not going to go into like too much detail about that. But anyway, I'm trying on these dresses. I apologize for saying anyway a million times. I just realized I have, so sorry. And they fit. Certain things fit better. It's the difference between a size 4 hanging off of me and a size 4 fitting me like a woman. Some of the dresses, one in particular, I remember it hanging off me very much flapper style. It was beaded, it's like straight down. And now when I tried on, I had to get rid of it because it was like kind of hoish. Not to shame any hoes out there. I love you. We need you. We love looking at you, and you're a vibe. But it was like really extra short because now it had some distance, right? The inches did not go straight down to be slightly longer. It was a mini dress to begin with on a tall woman, but it had to go around what is a juicy booty for me, guys. For me, I think I have one. Okay. So don't take that away from me. All right. I don't want to hear it. It was around my butt and tight to my butt instead of just hanging next to it. So I was like, I can't wear this anymore. It looks scandalous standing, and sitting, forget about it. Not going to happen. And that was the case with a couple things. It's just like, you can't wear this. And some of it was a little bit like, you're also not 27, you're 38. But I don't fully subscribe to that either, of like dress your age in a very traditional sense, because I wear what I want, and it's, I mean, I guess I feel younger than some 38-year-olds. I don't know. But anyway, I did get rid of some stuff that just wasn't serving me. I haven't worn it in years, and I just can't see myself wearing it anymore. But it was really hard, guys. It was very emotional because some stuff I had been keeping because I knew, like, oh, well, if you did get that skinny again, it wouldn't look hoish, right? Like, it will look more demure because, nothing is scandalous. I've often said this, why I can get away with wearing a lot of stuff. that might look scandalous in other people, I always say I don't have a scandalous body. Like I have the tiniest little breasts. Like they're so, I have a tiny little chest. Um my stomach is flat. Like it's not offensive to people to see my stomach with abs and everything. But I kept some things being like, "Oh, well, if you get extra thin again, you can wear this and it won't look scandalous." And getting rid of those things was me knowing like, but I'm not. Like I'm not going to get that thin again. Like I'm not going to get down to 114 pounds, like it's just not going to happen. And I say this as someone who, if I were to randomly check in before like a poop, I might weigh like 124. And then on like a good day, I'm like 119. And then it's just like, I know this is very like privileged. This is out of touch. I just listened to a whole podcast called Maintenance Phase, and they were talking about fat phobia. And I agreed and disagreed. It's good for me to listen to that podcast, guys. Like, if anyone has any eating issues, it's good. But they did say that the desire to stay thin was fat phobic. And I'm like, well, I don't hate fat people. I don't think fat people are bad. I don't think I'm better. I don't assign like any moral character to fat people. I just like I have this disordered brain and it is what it is. So, yeah. I didn't know what I was going to do this episode about coming off of the holidays. I was just going to do a little recap, but then I was so emotional yesterday and I was like, well, maybe I know that barely anyone listens to this, but maybe it'll help people. And if it doesn't, and it's just my friends listening to this, it'll help my friends know me better. Because even the other day, I got out of the shower and saw myself, and I thought my arms were so fat against my body that I wanted to cry and like didn't want to go to work, like didn't want to leave the house. I don't know. There's no logic to this, guys. There's no logic to an eating disorder. And when you are self aware, and I like to think that I am, I I just have such shame. I know I'm talking about it because that's my whole deal is like, I don't know, be ashamed and do it anyway, right? Or I don't really subscribe to embarrassment because I know that we're all human and, everyone wakes up in the morning and you go to the bathroom. That's what you do. Everyone smells sometimes, right? Everyone, if you feel frozen boogers in your nose, like you will pick them. And that's, you're a liar. You're a liar if you say you don't, right? I don't subscribe to embarrassment. I just kind of put it all out there. But at the same time, like, I just get a lot of shame because I'm self aware, knowing that this is the dumbest use of my energy and time is to feel sad that I'm not just thinner instead of like feeling joy that I'm living my life. I am supporting myself. I'm nourishing my body. I'm not obsessing. I'm not going through all day starving. I even let myself rest yesterday. Like these are such big steps for me. I never used to take rest days. I had to do all of yoga. I had to do a really hard workout. I used to do both every day and try to work, which is why I could never I was never working full time. I was like I would get jobs and work like maybe 20 something hours a week, 35 hours a week maximum. That would be like once in a while. But I mean, there's just not time to do an hour workout and 2 hours of yoga and a full day. Like I would do stuff after work, just exhausting myself. And yeah, you couldn't thrive. You couldn't live a life. You couldn't have relationships. And I should really spend my energy thinking about how far I've come instead of crying that I can't fit my thumb and middle finger around my bicep because that's disgusting. Sorry to shame anyone if that's your position right now that you're in, but it's sorry. This is for me. Check the podcast you're listening to. This is for me. So if anyone that's your situation, one, I hope you're a child. And if you are, you probably shouldn't listen to this. But if you're not and that's your position, then I'm very sorry because you're probably sick in one way or another. I think that's really it. I just had to get that out in case anyone else is going through some things, especially around the holidays where people make resolutions. Even customers offhandedly told me right after Christmas, "Oh, it's someone's birthday, so it's so hard because you've been eating the junk and everything for weeks, and then you got to eat a cake and you just feel so gross." And they're saying this to me. And granted, I do wear often 2 sweaters at a time at work because I'm so cold. Because at my work, when it's 55 degrees outside, which is a nice day for upstate New York outside, but that's not inside temperatures, guys. It's not, but they will open the doors. And so then I have to deal with being really fucking cold. But anyway, so I realized I'm wearing 2 big bulky sweaters and sweatpants. I don't even wear leggings anymore, guys, because I already know it's going to be too cold for leggings. That shit is too thin. Even the best quality leggings, too thin when you're just a cold human. But I'm like, does he think, I know I'm wearing 2 sweaters, but is this man saying that I'm fat? Like he's saying, like, you've been indulging in cookies. Sir, I can't relate. I mean, do I eat my own vegan ice cream every day? You bet I do. Do I eat several of my like date nut, chocolate, nut butter, seed bars like every day? Yeah, I do. But is he like implying, do I look like I've indulged? Is my face look fat? Because I have a whole thing about my face being wide no matter how thin I am. I don't know. But I just wanted to be like, what do you mean, sir? What are you saying? I didn't say that, but I was like, your girl doesn't eat dairy or gluten, or I have a whole thing about refined sugar. I have this whole rule, which again is orthorexic, right? I've moved on. I've moved on from anorexia. I do eat things that are very high calorie. I do not weigh out my nuts anymore and my chickpeas. Yes, I used to weigh out my nuts and chickpeas, guys. I don't do that stuff. I don't not put oil in salad dressing. Oh my God. It's now I'm really going through it. I used to literally like the thought of doing like a nut butter or oil in my own salad dressing. No way. That would be insane. No way. But yeah, I just, it's hard when you hear that talk all the time, or coworkers on diets losing weight. Oh, I'm down 6 pounds this week. Oh, I'm down a pound. And I can't weigh myself all the time. I can do little check-ins, here and there. But for my own health, the best policy for me is just how my clothes fit, and I just listed all the shit that I don't eat. So I pretty much just need to keep on giving myself nutrition, being active like I am, not overdo it, and not check in on a scale all the time. But it's hard when everyone around you is talking about how much weight they've gained or lost, and you're like, I'm not allowed to participate, or there are new goals at the gym. And when you've had an eating disorder, like my goal is just supposed to be to be happy with myself. My goal is supposed to be being content with the body that I'm in. My goal is to not wake up and feel so sore all the time, because when I did my cut and when I've under ate in the past, like, you're sore all the time. Not just like, oh, I crushed my workout yesterday sore. It's a different sore. And if you know, you know, because you're not eating enough or resting enough for recovery. And so it's not very relatable, to have those goals of just be happy with your body. And it's just a mind fuck when I just showed a bunch of people pictures from my New Year's. And obviously, these are people who love me, so they're going to say nice things. But they go, oh my God, you look like a model. You look like a movie star. And those are sweet and biased. But to hear that and my just silly, privileged white girl ass is crying because she feels fat or wishes that she were at her skinniest and can't get your mind around, like, your skinniest body was not your best body. The life you had when you were at your thinnest was not your best life. So why are you upset that you're getting rid of stuff because you're not going to go back there? I suppose it's called mourning, though. You can mourn things that you don't want again, right? I don't know. I don't have a current therapist. I've been to one, though, but maybe that's a thing. Really gonna go for now. I really hope this helped someone. And I don't know, check in on your friends, guys, after the holidays. There's a lot of madness and chaos and busyness and things to look forward to and things to get over with, depending on how you feel about the holidays. And then there's time. So you have to be alone with yourself. And generally, that's my favorite thing. And that's clearly what I needed to get through all this. But it's hard. All right. This is for me. This is episode 23. And I hope they're getting better. And follow me on Instagram at Trisha Kemi. Follow me on TikTok at Trisha Kemi. And I will talk to you guys next week.